Welcome to Girls Night Live. We're so happy that you're here with us today. Today, we are very excited to learn all about foods that burn fat. We're coming to you live from Covina, California. A warm welcome to Girls Night Live, Lana Davis. Welcome, Lana.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. So I hope everybody is doing well today. I am super excited to be here with you and connect with you regarding food for fat loss. So we're going to go ahead and dive in just a little deeper. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an assignment before we even start. This is a workshop, so we are going to do a little work. So the first thing I want you guys to go ahead and do is, if you'd like, you can either screenshot this scene here, or you guys can go ahead and just kind of answer some of these questions. Because my main objective today, guys, is to help you guys understand your answers to these 4 questions so that you can be more successful at your weight loss journey, health and fitness, and wellness. Now, as for me, I started my journey almost 11 or 12 years ago. I was a broke college student and I didn't have much financial resources to be successful. But one of the things that I was able to do was work out in my bedroom, address my relationships with food, meaning what was I eating, how was I eating, and I really was able to really identify and describe my daily nutrition habits, because a lot of times we want to get better, but we're not honest about where we're starting at. We're not honest about what we eat on a daily basis. And that's one of the things we need to really be honest with. And the third thing I want you guys to focus on today is, have you really visualized yourself being successful in achieving your goal? Sometimes if we don't believe that we can achieve it, then we won't achieve it. And it sounds so cliche. If you believe it, you can achieve it. But we really got to start working on believing and visualizing our goals. And lastly, which was one of the things that I struggled with the most, and so many people struggle with, is what are your limiting beliefs? And this may be a foreign, common, or you may not have ever heard limiting beliefs, but I guarantee you we all have them. And they may be the reason you're not achieving your goals, or at least why you're not sustaining your results and becoming successful at this journey altogether. So make sure we screenshot this, make sure we write these questions down, and you start figuring out and thinking about some of those questions as we progress through this entire workshop today. Now, my main step 1 for all of you, if you learn nothing from me today, please, let's defunk diet culture. Let's get rid of all those fads, those trends, and those things that we see on the Instagram and the Facebook and everything we think that works. Because diet culture refers to the beliefs that values thinness, appearance, and all those things physical in shape above health and well-being. These are concepts like restricting your calories, normalizing negative self-talk. And I know a lot of us do this now. We label our foods as good and bad foods. And those are things we want to break away from. We don't want to label our foods as good or bad, because there are so many fat diets. There's magic pills, there's fasting, there's the thigh gap. Some of you don't eat after 8. Some of you don't eat carbs. Some of you are completely avoiding fats. But these quick fixes and these unrealistic timelines are going to keep you from actually reaching your goals. So today, let's defunk diet culture. Let's learn a little bit more about some of those popular trends that we hear about, and let's really start to educate ourselves about really how to get to where we want to be. So first things first, what do diet and nutrition mean? Now, what is nutrition? That is the process of nourishing and being nourished. What is a diet? That is food and drink consumed. Now, when you see the word diet, you see at no point does it say eating only this amount, eating this way, because diet is not a plan. Diet is what you eat and drink consistently on a regular basis. So if you're eating fast food and sugary foods on a regular basis, you're on a fast food, sugary food diet. Now, the being good diet versus the balanced nutrition diet. I know we've all fallen victim of it, because I know myself, when I first started with this journey, it was very hard for me to be successful because I thought I had to be good. I restricted all the foods I enjoyed eating. If I liked it and I loved it, I probably shouldn't have had it. And so that made me emotionally drained. I ate very low calories. Yes, you want to create a caloric deficit, but sometimes we cut our calories so low that we don't even have energy to train or energy to live life. And we end up losing our muscle, which keeps us nice and tight, instead of fat, which is that stuff that jiggles. So we don't want to be on the good diet. We want to be on a balanced nutrition plan. And that is the way in the approach for life. That is where we start to implement the 80-20 rule. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the 80-20 rule. They call it the golden rule in nutrition. Why? Because this means that 80% of the time we are eating the foods that we know are nutrient dense and necessary for us to be healthy and strong and live a long life. While 20% of the time, we enjoy those foods that we know don't have any nutrients or nutritional value, but they just make our heart full and they make us happy. And that's where we have the 80-20 approach. When you're on a balanced nutrition plan, ladies and gents, you guys are eating enough calories, because let's face it, you got to fuel yourselves in order to be successful at this journey. You have to eat. Do not fall for that contrary belief that eating less is where you want to go. No, you want to eat enough food throughout the day to keep yourself fueled so that you can train, you can have your increase in muscle mass. And remember, the more that you eat consistently every 3 hours or so, you will start to burn fat more efficiently. Now, I'm going to have some questions at the end of this seminar, the workshop here, ladies. So if at any point you have a question, please drop those questions down in the chat or write them down so that you don't forget at the end of this workshop here, okay? Now, I know you guys have heard this cliche. It takes 21 days to break or make a new habit and 90 days to make it a lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not true. It takes up to 18 to 254 days for people to really form a new habit. And we already know there's 365 days in a year. So it really takes up to a year for us to really change our lives. And if you think about it, depending on how old we are, we're not going to ask that question, but we may have been doing the other way longer than we are even considering doing things the new way. So we have to be realistic that we are not going to change 30 years of uneducated nutrition choices or an inactive lifestyle in 21 days. And if you do, yes, great. But the whole key to this process is sustainability. So when you want success on your journey, ladies, let's remove those unrealistic time restraints or end goals, because there is no end goal. We're trying to have a healthy lifestyle so that no point can you ever revert back to old you. You always got to be a better version of yourself. And so that is why we consider this an ongoing, evolving journey. What you do now, you will build upon it, and it'll be building blocks. I love this next 2 and 3 reality checks. Why? Because all of you have tried something or some diet at some point, whether it's the Weight Watchers, the Atkins, the South Beach, the Zone, vegetarian, vegan, Jenny Craig, keto, the Mediterranean, or whatever diet known to man. We've all tried it. We've all been successful for a little bit. And then as soon as that 30-day ends or that plan's in, we are right back to old us. And I want to just point out some of the key factors and characteristics that make all of those diets the same. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Why are all these diets the same? 1, they have more whole foods. So you're eating more nutrient-dense foods. 2, they're decreasing junk foods. So we're that 20% number we talked about, we're eating less of that. 3, there's more restrictions. So think about it. When you were on Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers, they had rules about points. When you're on keto, you're eating more fats, you're restricting your carbs. When you're in Atkins and South Beach, they do more of that carb restriction. So most diets are all restricting something. So that is why you're successful at it. So we no longer want to follow diet approaches. We want to start implementing more whole foods into our normal routine. We want to stop eating as many junk food items that we eat throughout the week. We want to remove those restrictions that make us feel limited and make us feel as if we're locked and chained into a diet. But instead, we want to follow that 80-20 approach that allows us to wiggle a little bit. And then we want to just make sure when we create fewer calories, it's not just slicing and slotting those numbers down. It's creating a safe and healthy caloric deficit. So how do popular diets help you lose weight? More whole foods, fewer junk foods, more restrictions, fewer calories, all of them, no different. No matter what one you try, they're going to have those 4 same characteristics when you really buckle down. Now, this next little reality check, number 3, how you think you should eat. And I know that top little row there, chicken breast, broccoli, boring. You're tired of it. How you wish you could eat and reach your goals, right? You wish you could just keep it the same, do what you've been doing, never change, and then get the results. Trust me, I agree. Wish I could live my life that way as well. But then there's that third way, how you can actually eat. And that third way, again, reinforces the 80-20 rule, where you look at that and you see 80%, those are colors, those are rainbows, that's protein, those are complex carbs, those are our veggies. And then you see that 20% of those things that make our heart full and our stomach full, the ice creams, the chips, and some of those things that we know aren't good for us, but they are good for our soul. So those 2 reality checks, slap, boom, no more diet restrictions and no more believing that you can only eat chicken and broccoli and greens to reach your goals, because we know with the 80-20 approach, we have a little wiggle room for everything, ladies. And lastly, this is for my cardio bunnies, reality check number 4. I want my ladies to lift some weights and I want you to do some cardio. Reality check number 4, cardio is the most important component to dropping body fat. No, it's not. It's not. Not at all. Yes, cardio is important, and I want you guys in your daily routines to be doing things that help create a strong respiratory system, the heart, the lungs, the blood flow, all of that is important. But that is not what is important to lose body fat and to kind of see those results with your body. What is important? Number 1, creating a caloric deficit. Number 2, you want to increase and maintain your protein intake. Now, that doesn't mean protein just always animal based. For my vegan and vegetarians, you can also eat adequate amounts of protein. We just got to make sure we plan accordingly and you have the information and the details to do so. Implement resisting training. Ladies, let's lift some weights. I'm not talking crazy CrossFit jumping over things, but I'm talking grab your little 2-pounders, do some side raises, do some squats. That resistance training is what's going to help create some of that muscle mass, which makes you tight and toned. 4, I want my ladies to rest and recover. You have to sleep. And number 5, lastly, then we do some cardio. You want to make sure you have those top 4 under check and on your routine list. And then cardio is just going to be the icing on the cake. All right. So number 4, reality. Cardio is not the most important thing, ladies. What is the most important thing and what we're going to dive into real deep is step 2, understanding nutrition. So this is kind of where we get into food for fat loss. Food for Fat Loss is my ebook. It's a 30-day nutrition guide that I developed, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. I took everything that I did and I knew that worked for me and that had been working for my clients. And I said, this needs to be a guide so that it can help other people. And so that is what Food for Fat Loss is. It's a 30-day guide and it helps people understand nutrition. Now, ready, set, eat. Learn about macros. Eat your macros. Create a caloric deficit, read nutrition labels. If you start to focus on those 4 things there, you will start to see that it's not just a season in life, because that is why sometimes we're not successful at this process. We don't really rewire our relationship with food. We're just thinking 30 days, get through 30 days, get through 30 days, but we don't have an after plan. What does life look like for us to truly be successful? Remember, visualize yourself being successful at this goal. Now, if you're on social media or if you've read a health and magazine, fitness, whatever, everybody's talking about macros, macronutrients, macros. What are macros? Macros are carbs, fats, and proteins that we need as humans in larger amounts to perform for our body structure and systems. Screenshot this, screenshot it. These are going to be the proteins and the fats and the carbs. A lot of times I notice women struggle because they don't understand what they eat and how it fits into each one of these categories. Protein, that's where, my ladies, I want you to start with your protein. I don't care if it's animal-based or if it's plant-based, but you got to have that protein. Why? Because it boosts your metabolism. It helps increase muscle mass and strength, and it helps reduce appetite. So it helps reduce hunger. You get angry and hunger, then you get hangry. So it helps you not be so hangry. And then we go into our carbs, which is our first source of energy. A lot of times, my ladies, as soon as we get ready to lose this weight or start this new diet, we are cutting carbs. I don't need them, which is why you tend to be a little more lethargic. We don't cut carbs, mama. We modify them. We start eating more of the whole grains and the beans, the sprouted grains, things like the quinoas and those whole grains that are going to really give us those the fiber and the things necessary to keep us full and to keep our GI tract healthy. Then, which is our fats, and that is going to be our second source of energy. So you notice we need all three of these in order to really properly perform in life. Now, fats are our second source of energy. They protect our organs and they help keep our cholesterol and blood pressure under control. Those are the things like our avocado, our butters, our eggs, even olives and the cheeses and the nuts. Now, I want you guys to notice this, this graph here. The circle graph, if you look in the center, there's those that are interchanged together, they're intertwined, because things like whole eggs, they're also a fat and a protein. Things like beans, they're also a protein and a carb. So everything we eat has a makeup. And the more you understand what makes up what you eat, the more you're able to be successful about what you want to achieve, because you think you're eating healthy, but then you realize, man, I'm eating a lot of avocado. That's a lot of fats. I'm not eating a lot of protein, or I'm not getting enough carbs. So really start to learn to identify your macros as far as protein, carbs, and fats. But as much as we want to learn our macros, ladies, please do not forget your, oh, let me go back. I'm sorry there. Please do not forget your micronutrients. Now, micronutrients, those are our vitamins and minerals needed for our body. I'm going to suggest right now that all my ladies in the room are taking a vitamin, a multivitamin. If you want to go anything deeper than that, of course, please feel free, but multivitamin is where you want to start. That's going to give you your vitamins, your minerals, your organic acids. Those are all necessary. First, we want to get those things from foods. Then we want to supplement them with vitamins and supplements. But of course, we may not get them all from food. And that's why we take a multivitamin, or some of us are doing collagen. Some of us do a protein shake. Some of us do different drinks and supplements to help us get our micronutrients. But do not ever think that micronutrients are less important than our macros. We need them both. Now, once you understand your macros and your micros, you got to understand calories, girlfriend. You got to understand your calories. Why? Because the calories are what is going to create the deficit. Now, there's a calorie umbrella. Calories is the big umbrella. It's a unit of energy. That's what gets us going. So if something has 100 calories, it's giving us 100 units of energy. Within those 100 grams of, or 100 calories, breaks down into those macros: carbs, proteins, and fats. And so when you have calories, you want to make sure you're creating a caloric deficit, meaning you're eating less than your body is burning, so that you start to burn fat. The reason you ladies are not seeing success is because the caloric deficit is not being created, or if you do create one, you out-eat it or you undertrain. One thing my coach always told me way back in the day when I was doing all my bikini preps and the bodybuilding shows, he always would say, you cannot outwork a bad diet, ladies. So really focus on your nutrition. The key is fat loss, and the key to fat loss is creating a caloric deficit. But I do not want to sit here and say that all of our goals is to lose fat, because we have those friends and families, maybe they want to put on some size. And so that is where understanding how to calculate your numbers comes into play. You might just want to follow a plan on the internet or screenshot something you see on Instagram, but those are not customized to you and your goals. So when you're going out to look for a nutrition plan that focuses on you, I would suggest really calculating those numbers to fit your needs, your life, and your daily routine. Next, read the back before you snack. Read the back before you snack. One more time, read the back before you snack. Why? Because that is your magic tool, ladies. So many of you guys are like, what? The new what? The label, huh? It does what? It tells me, huh? It gives you all the necessary. Pinterest frustrates me. I feel you on Pinterest. Read the pack before. Yes. Why? Because you want to look at calories, serving size, fats, sugar, minerals, protein, carbs, fiber, all those numbers. It's going to give you all the details and the information necessary. Okay. Now, decoding nutrition labels. You look at this label, girl, and it looks like straight magic numbers. It looks like SOS. It looks like a foreign code. And that is why I'm going to give you guys the tools to read nutrition labels, because I guarantee you, sis, you'll be able to eat your favorite snacks now, feeling empowered, because you no longer have to eat the whole bag, because you understand the serving size. You understand that just because they give you a whole bag doesn't mean eat the whole bag. It means read the back before you snack. So I'm using the nutrition label of one of my favorite snacks, which is a hint of lime tortilla chips, those Tostitos. I love them. I'm addicted. I can literally probably eat a half a bag, and I'm not going to front. As your coach and your nutrition specialist, if I don't measure them out, I will go really heavy. But let's just think about it. We've all gone to Mexican food. We're just dipping and salsa in, and we're asking for extra chips. And next thing you know, everybody's had a whole bag of chips to themselves. So that is why we want to start to understand what these numbers mean, especially when we're serving ourselves and we're at home or we're on the go picking things up at, wherever quick little fix that we're at. Number one, what's the serving size? You'll find that right at the top. That's going to tell you how much you should eat. Now, that doesn't tell you that you have to eat that, but that is telling you, hey, everything after this is all equated to 1 ounce. So every number you read after that is going to equal 1 ounce. So you eat 1 ounce, and I've weighed it and measured it. 1 ounce is about 12 to 17 chips. It just depends. Yes, I did it. So if you calculate, or if you weigh it out 1 ounce, you might get 12 to 17 chips. That means for that 1 ounce, it's 150 calories. That's not bad. That's not good. We don't really mind that. What we do care about is, how much fat do we get for that 1 ounce? How many carbs do we get for that 1 ounce? How much protein do we get for that 1 ounce? How much sugar is in that 1 ounce? So then we go to our fats, got about 8 grams of fat. That ain't too bad. We go to our carbs, 18 grams. Depending on what we're eating the rest of the day, 18 grams, we can make that work. 2 grams of protein. We knew tortilla chips wasn't going to be high in protein. So we don't expect a high number. We just want to make sure that we're not eating 3 ounces and then we've got to multiply everything by 3. So the takeaway here, ladies, understand what that serving size is. And then everything after, make sure you're reading the fats. How many grams of fats? How many carbs are you going to get? And how much protein? Because that is going to indicate how much you can eat throughout the day. So we got to understand how to read those nutrition labels. We got to do the math. And honestly, if you're going to serve yourself your Cheez-Its or whatever it is, I would suggest grab your little Tupperware, put it there, walk away, sis. Just walk away. And once you're done and it's all done, it's done. It's a wrap. You get no more, no mas, okay? Next, step 3. This is the biggest issue, and this is why I wasn't successful the first 10 times I started. This is why so many of us are not successful, is because we're not rewiring our relationship with food, period, point blank. We are sitting here, we are following the rules and the restrictions because we know we've only got to do it for 30 days. But on day 31, I'm going to be back to old me. No, we got to rewire the entire relationship with food. So what does that mean? That means that we're starting to establish new responses to your behaviors, your patterns, and triggers. That's anything. I notice when I'm late at home and I'm sitting here bored watching TV, I need a snack. How do we respond to that? Is that eating a healthier snack or eating the same snack that we know is not conducive to our goals? That's establishing new responses. Then we're discovering our limiting beliefs. We're right back there to those 4 questions I wanted you guys to keep, thinking about. What are those limiting beliefs? When you discover that, you realize what box you're putting yourself into, because we all have them. I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm not enough of that. When we do these 2 things, ladies, we'll start rewiring our relationship with food. And I know you're probably going like, I don't have any limiting beliefs, but you do. And I'm going to share a few of those. So limiting beliefs are those opinions that you believe to be absolutely true. They have a negative impact on your life by stopping you from moving forward, growing personally and professionally. And especially when it comes to where we are with the food that we eat, you are what you eat. So if you're eating food that is making you sluggish and slow and kind of spiking your energy and then dropping you down, you're going to have all these crazy ups and downs. And that's going to cause you to think all these crazy thoughts all the time. And so some of the most common beliefs that I know my ladies have out there: I'm too old to get fit. Oh, okay. I've been this way my entire life. I'll never change. I enjoy fast food too much. I'm not smart enough. I've already tried everything. I don't feel like I really deserve it. That's for you mamas, because you guys think, oh, I got to give it all to them. If I take 30 minutes for myself, oh, my kid. No, you need that 30 minutes for yourself, mama, so that you can be there for them kids the next 21 years. I don't have enough willpower. This is for the single ladies. All the good ones are taken. The good ones you're looking at, but they're not all taken. I don't have the genetics. You might not have the genetics to run track, but you have the genetics to control what you eat. You have to have money to make money. Yeah, but you can also do some awesome ideas and do some awesome things that are free opportunities that present other opportunities to make money. I'm not educated enough. Girl, we can learn anything on Google. You could be anybody you want to be if you just read a book or 2. And then it's selfish of me to want more. Again, another one to my mamas. It is not selfish of you to want more for yourself. It is not selfish of you to want to improve your quality of life. And it is not selfish of you to say, honey, somebody, can y'all give me 30 minutes so I can go walk the block, so I can prep my food, so I can go to the market. It's not too selfish, girlfriend. In fact, that's what you're doing, is being selfless, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. So once we've kind of identified our limiting beliefs, whether they're these or some other ones that you think of, again, this is a screenshotter, so make sure you're screenshotting. We want to overcome those. So you want to write them out. And sometimes I've suggested to some of my nutrition clients, do a video of them. Record yourself telling the things about yourself that you don't like, the negative things, those beliefs, and then rewatch that. And then once you kind of know what those limiting beliefs are, where did they come from? Was it an experience that you failed at? Because we all fail. Was it someone that didn't pour into you in a positive way when you did fail? Was it something you heard? Was it something you read? Where did it come from? Then we're going to just switch it up. Instead of I'm too old to get fit, I am the right age to get fit. This is the perfect time to get fit. I can't believe I'm 41 and I'm about to get fit. We're going to switch it up. And then we're going to look for times in our lives, ladies, that we've all been successful, because I know it's easy to think about how much we failed and how much we suck at this and that, but we all would not be here right now if we have not been successful at something, because life is hard. So you write down those times that you've overcome something, and then that's what you're going to go back to when you think you can't achieve something else, because I guarantee you, you've overcome something, and you will overcome this limiting belief as well if you work it. And then you want to make sure that you think about it all the time, and not all the time, but think of the worst case scenario. If you don't achieve this goal, what is going to happen? Sometimes this is even worse of a health scenario. Sometimes this is maybe losing a job if you don't take a training, whatever it is. What's the worst case scenario, and how can you overcome it? And one of the things I want you to know is that you got to plan for success. And that's where you want to learn how to overcome. Planning to work out, planning to meal prep. You know what? On Sundays, I'm really free. Sundays, I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to prepare my snacks. On Tuesday, I have a lot more free time because the kids go to soccer. So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z while the kids are at soccer. I'm going to walk the track. That's where you want to start creating that plan of action. And then next, create some positive affirmation, ladies, and we're going to start reciting those every day. I don't care what it is and what your affirmation is. Whatever it is, it's going to be the opposite of what that negative limiting belief is, and put it on your screen, put it on your mirror, put it on the door before you leave, put it on the dashboard in the car. And we're going to recite those affirmations, because another cliche I love, fake it till you make it, girl. If you fake it till you make it, eventually you'll believe it, and everybody else will too. So just keep on believing in yourself until you get out of the funk and deprogram and rewire those relationships with food. Next, the roadmap for success. So I'm getting ready to get kind of towards the end here, ladies. And so another screenshot, because I know I threw a lot at you. So number one, we are defuncting. And that's not a real word, so I know it's not, but I just like saying it because it sounds good. But we're going to defunct and forget all diet culture and trends. And that means anything you heard on the internet, anything you've seen on the internet, anything that somebody told you to follow, we are just defuncting it, because we are not just following a diet because we know a diet is what you eat consistently. We're changing our lifestyle. So we're not on a diet, we're on a lifestyle change and a lifestyle journey. Two, we're going to educate ourselves about nutrition, and we're going to read the back before we snack. And that's just flipping it over. What does it say? How much is the serving size? What are the grams of fats, proteins, and carbs? Three, we're going to rewire your relationship with food. And that takes time, because remember, it doesn't take 21 days. It doesn't take 30 days. It doesn't take 90 days. It's set up to 200 and something days, almost an entire year. So it is a constant journey. We don't give up. And that's the thing. A lot of us think that if we're not 100%, then we get to quit. But I don't know about you. I went to school and I knew if I got 100 on a test, I didn't get to quit the next test. I either had to get an 80 or 60 or 70 to still pass the class. So you don't just get to give me a 20% one day, because then you're going to fail the class. So you always got to give a little bit of effort, grade yourself every day. Let's take it back to grade school. And then four, we're going to understand your limiting beliefs, understand why you don't think you can be successful at this. Because I know some of us come from backgrounds and families and cultural situations that make us believe that we can't be successful. Coming from my family, I might be eating green beans and they might be eating some other stuff that I really want to eat. You know, my sister might be making baked macaroni and cheese, and I'm over here eating brown rice because I already had a high carb and high fat. I understand that culture's getting in the way of that, but we don't want to forget our cultures, but we want to make some of those healthy changes so that we can still enjoy our foods that are within our cultures, within our lifestyle, but they also do not keep us stuck in that hypertension and the high blood pressure and the diabetes that also causes us to be stuck in some of those situations that our family has. And then last but not least, ladies, do not stop, do not quit, keep slaying. Because I'm going to tell you something, you're thinking about it, you're here, you're registered, you're watching it, you took notes. So that's a step. That's telling you that this is something that is important to you. That's telling you that this is something that you prioritize. And that's telling you that you're doing one step more than somebody else is doing. Because so many people, they talk about it, but they're not about it. They don't take the initiative. So the fact that you're here is why I want to make sure that you guys plug in and connect with me outside of here. So we are going to be able to connect. I am going to invite you guys to ask me questions, but outside of just those questions that we do here during this webinar, make sure you follow me on Instagram and make sure that we continue to connect so that I can hear more about your stories and how that I can help support you. So if anybody anywhere has a question or two for me, feel free to ask those questions. I am going to review those through the chat here. And then you guys can always go ahead and check my contacts so that you can stay connected with me. And let me go ahead and see where the questions start here. So I have trouble generating recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I work full time. And then I'm disappointed and frustrated, which leads me to ordering out. And I'm really trying to save money. Great question. One thing I love about eating healthy and meal prepping is that, yes, you do get to save money. So you are definitely right. By ordering out, you are spending more money and you're definitely not saving money. Now, when it comes to generating new recipes and having the time to cook, depending on what days are realistic for you, I would say look at your schedule and plan accordingly. Is there a day that you can go to the market? Meal prep foods that you can maybe crock pot cook. So is there something you can put in a crock pot? Make things in the oven while you're making things in the crock pot. Buy frozen vegetables and frozen rice and things like those type of options, because everything doesn't always have to be fresh. But definitely look at your schedule, figure out what day and time looks and feels like the best time for you to spend at least an hour just kind of prepping some things so that you have some of those options. And then if you're super busy, I would suggest protein shake. One, you can have that on the go when you're moving and going from work. And then two, when you're coming home and you're maybe not having anything readily available, the protein shake will be a great option. That or some of those tuna packs. And when it comes to healthy recipes, I actually have a recipe portal where a lot of girls subscribe to, and I'm always listing some of my favorite recipes and snacks. And that's only $4.99, and it gives the girls recipes and snacks for their entire week. And then it just allows them to kind of keep pulling from the information that I have. Okay, I'm so trying to save money. Let me see. Do you work with, oh my God, yes, I work with pregnant mamas. Okay, the question was, do you work with pregnant mamas? And I got all like, because I love pregnant mamas. Yes, I'm an in-person personal trainer. So yes, I train clients online. I have nutrition clients that I train online, and I've had pregnant clients both online and in person. I do work with pregnant women so that we are creating a healthy caloric deficit and we're not gaining the weight. Because one of the things, I love y'all, but my pregnant ladies are always talking about they're eating for two. Yes, but you're eating for two, so you give that baby the good stuff. The baby knows nothing about chili cheese fries. That is not what you're eating for two for. And so one of the biggest things for me is I work with my pregnant moms on getting through the fitness in a healthy and a safe way through each trimester, and then also being holding them accountable to those cravings and what eating for two really means. Because let's face it, again, the baby doesn't know about hot Cheetos and all the other stuff that you guys always think you're like, I gotta have it. The baby doesn't know. So I do work with pregnant women. Please reach out. Make sure you text me or message me after this. I would love to talk to you more. I think someone said Pinterest frustrates me, and I agree, girl. La la la. Will you show us the sample day you could look like? I'm sorry. I'm like trying to strive through and not lose things. Okay. Do I work with pregnant women? Thank you for saying that I'm amazing. I feel like there's a question right under the pregnant question, but I can't see it. Give me a minute. Let me make this bigger. Pinterest frustrates me. Okay, read the back before you snack. Lana has been nothing short of amazing. You guys are amazing as well. All right, I think I've answered every question that was written in the chat here. Awesome. Okay, so I have a few ways for you ladies to plug in with me before we take off. Love this. Thank you, Sherry. I got a couple ways for you guys to plug in so that I can keep working with you and supporting you, because my biggest thing is you've got all this wealth of information. Now, how do you implement it? Because I know you saw the last slide and it said knowledge is power. But as a teacher, I'm going to say knowledge is not power. It's the implementation of knowledge that is power, because you can have all the info in the world, girlfriend, but if you don't implement that information and that knowledge, what use is it? So if you want to go deeper with me, you can always invest in the Food for Fat Loss ebook, which is a 30-day guide. I am hosting and going to be launching a 30-day Food for Fat Loss program. So that's going to be a 30-day program via my website and my app that I'm going to be helping you with meal plans and recipe guides, giving you guidance. You'll have access to my Nothing But Recipe video portal, or not video portal, but portal. And then you'll also have some workouts that I'll be putting in the app as well, so that you guys will get that fitness and nutrition side. The 30-day program is really similar to what my challenges that I host every month look like. And then for some of you who want a more one-on-one custom experience, then you're going to want to check out my customized nutrition programs, which I call Fits Lana's Meal Plan. And that is going to be where we connect either via Zoom or Facebook, and we're going to have live conversations like we do here, either twice a week, or not twice a week, I'm sorry, twice a month, or 4 times a month. I take your numbers, I calculate your calories, I create a meal plan, and then we work on figuring out what a meal plan for Francine looks like, what a meal plan for Estelle looks like, what a meal plan for Shelly looks like, what a meal plan for Sherry. We look at what a meal plan looks like for you, because contrary to what they say on the internet, you just can't follow any meal plan that's thrown your way, because our lives are different. If you wake up at 5 o'clock and you got to do something different, then I'm not going to have you waking up at 5 a.m. and then telling you to have a protein shake and do. No, we're going to habit stack. I'm going to look at what you do with your life, and we're going to create that plan so it makes sense. Because my main objective, ladies, is for you to sustain your success, maintain your results, and improve your quality of life. If we're not doing those 3 things, we're not doing nothing. Because I don't care if you get healthy and get fit for 30 days. I want to see you in 10 years, and I want to know know that you've lived a full life and improved your quality of life, ladies. So that is all I have. There's nothing else up my sleeve because I don't have any on, but thank you. I am so thankful and appreciative of your time today, ladies. And please, 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 whether it's an email, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or however you connect and communicate, please plug in, please chat with me. Let me know that you're here. Talk to me. I talk back. Okay. And for me, I am done. Thank you, ladies. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget, Lana loves you.